Well, hey guys, it is Monday, June 2nd. How about that? Made it to June. Barely muddled through May. Record rain totals all across central Alabama. If you're in the Wiregrass, you're probably like, what? Where was the rain at? It was very lopsided. The northern half of the state seeing, again, record May rain totals. Areas to the south, by and large, missed out on at least the higher rain totals. But hey, how about a summer-like week, but a dry start to the week? Gotta love that here, coming off of again what was a very very wet May for much of northern Alabama. We do have isolated rain chances that come back into the picture. Perhaps some tropical mischief we'll address, and could we have a stormy weekend? We're going to talk about all of it here. Let's start with the big picture. That nice northerly flow that we've had here over the last couple of days was courtesy of this high. It was to our west, which means we were under the influence of a northerly flow, northerly winds. That's a continental breeze, that's a continental air mass. And what I mean by continental is it originates over land. That automatically makes it less humid than a subtropical air mass, a air mass that initiates over water. That is typically what we're under the influence of when we get in the summertime. Southerly winds, bringing in off the tropics, and typically it's a bit more muggy. It's been nice. We've also been fairly clear out there. We've had at times those high cirrus clouds, and we've also seen, mainly over the weekend, those that wildfire smoke from Canada suspended aloft, giving us some vibrant sunsets. Got a picture to show you here in just a little while. But hey, looking pretty good here as we head into the evening. So our upper air pattern here as we move into the week. This is Tuesday, and you see a bit of a ridge building here. We have this upper level high that's right over the Carolinas. But then it shifts. That's going to mean southerly flow. That's a warming trend for us. Let's head to Wednesday afternoon, about 3 o'clock. All right, that ridge now smack over the mid-Atlantic, North Carolina, the Outer Banks. Again, we have this southerly flow, and we've got this little shortwave feature here. We'll touch more on that coming up just a minute. By Thursday, that ridge kind of flattens out a little bit, but we still have that odd little, it looks like a shortwave. It's actually a weak surface low that's non-tropical, but it will bring about the chance of rain for the Carolinas and even influence our forecast here across the south. This is Friday at about 3 o'clock. And that feature not really notable anymore, but we could see a weak frontal boundary begin to approach. And this is going to be something that we watch. The upper air pattern might not be something we look at all the time because we get into the summertime and there's just not a whole lot of diversity with it. So again, today has been largely a comfortable day. I lived in the Wiregrass for years. It could easily be in the 90s with dew points in the 70s and just already that oppressive heat. So 80s today, that was pretty nice. Tonight, again, we'll still have 60s across much of the state, but we'll start to see those 70s creep back into the picture as our moisture levels come up. And then our highs on Tuesday are likely to reach the mid to upper 80s. You might even have some 90s in a few spots. Again, 90s will be possible almost every afternoon moving forward, and we'll start to see more of these morning lows on Wednesday in the 70s as our moisture levels come up. So I thought I would take us to this. So these are our dew points here at about 5:30. You don't have to know what a dew point is. Just know this. Dew point is a measure of moisture, right? So when you see 50s, even low 60s, that's a comfortable air mass. What we see here a lot, or have here a lot, is dew points in the 70s. So we are likely to see that moisture come up some here moving forward. So let's go to 3 o'clock on Wednesday. And again, we're in that realm of still comfy and, parts of DeKalb, Cherokee County. But you start to see those deeper greens coming back late in the week, specifically south of I-20 by Thursday evening. You've got dew points in the upper 60s to low 70s. And by Friday, Auburn, Montgomery, Troy, Dothan, Andalusia, all going to have dew points probably right around 70 and a lot deeper green across the state. So the humidity levels will be coming back. So what does that mean for rain chances? Well, we'll get there. I want to go to the NHC Outlook. So it's early. Hurricane season, let's start it on the 1st, June 1st to November 30th, right? We don't often see development. We don't often see formation in the month of June, but it can happen. We got a 10% chance of development with this little feature I talked about off the coastline. So with that in mind, let's jump ahead to Thursday. This is 10 o'clock on Thursday. So what do we have here? Okay, there's our high at the surface right there over Tennessee, Kentucky. There's a front Fronts don't usually get to us this time of year, but occasionally a tropical system can alter our atmospheric patterns. Could it do just that? Well, let's go to Friday at about 1 o'clock. There's that low pressure feature. And again, we don't expect anything to develop from this, but notice the circulation around it. It pulls in whatever's to the northwest. So here's tropical low feature, and it could act to pull in this front. And again, typically with a stronger system, you might see more of a slingshot here, but either way, this front's going to approach as we head into the weekend. And that's why I think our rain coverage gets a little bit higher on Saturday. It won't rain everywhere all day, but you're going to have an extra lifting mechanism. So you got your daytime heating, more tropical air around. You're going to get those pop-up thunderstorms, but you'll also have this front, and as this wedges in, I think pretty decent coverage by Saturday afternoon, evening, and really into Sunday as well. So if you got plans over the weekend, it's a great time to have your radar with you. I got my kids' birthdays outside on the weekend, and it's never fun to be the weather guy for an outside event, and everyone's looking at you like, why it's raining? Well, it's Alabama in the summertime. So again, weekend plans, keep an eye on it. It really, from coast all the way up to the shoals, we have the chance of rain. Not a washout, but pretty decent coverage moving forward. This is a look at the Weather Prediction Center, the 7-day rain totals, and again, not the most impressive. However, that could also change. It's tough to pick up these convective numbers, at times. It's really hard to depict where we're going to see a downpour, in Tuscaloosa or Northport, but not in Brookwood or in Vance. So take that for what you will. CPC outlook as we head towards mid-June. Again, nothing that really jumps off the page here. A lot of the lower 48 trending above average, potentially. So we'll, of course, always monitor that. We haven't had our really hot stretch, which is very good. Last year, if you recall, in June, we had several days of 95 plus, so I would love to stay away from there. Beach forecast. Neighbors headed down there. You probably know friends and family. Maybe you are. Beach forecast looks okay here in the short term. Keep an eye, though, on late week. Again, we will likely see more of those coastal thunderstorms, but as you know, it is the beach. It's its own microclimate, so you can see a storm 1 minute, sunshine a little bit later. So as always, be safe. That'll do it for our Monday edition of this forecast discussion. If you have any questions, drop them below.